Hello, everyone, and welcome to the February 2026 episode of What's New in Cloud FinOps with myself, Frank Contrepois, and my great friend
Stephen Old. Do you know, every time, Frank, I think I might say Steve-O because that's what most people call me. And I don't know what it is, but every time I chicken out and say Stephen Old.
Here we go, you just say it.
It was so close there. But yes, hello, Frank. How are you?
I'm very good.
I just saw you a few days ago. We actually saw each other in person.
That was brilliant.
Because we were recording this. So it was so late. We didn't get much time together in the end, did we?
No.
And then we were walking to the same tube station, and then we thought, actually, my tube didn't go from there. So I walked the other way, and then it did go from there.
Yes.
And, but yes, we were recording this so late, and if we didn't record it today, we had one of two choices, right? Either I recorded it on my own, or we recorded the February episode in April, which I think we've done once when we've gone like 1 month over.
It's possible.
In 5.5 years.
But so the selection this time was done by AI, trying to go through all the. I've shared with AI all the RSS feed I use, all the pages we use for web, all the kind of stuff. So there are tons of things for AWS. There is not much for the other one. I think there is nothing for Azure. So Steve is gonna take the time while I'm on holiday.
I'm gonna try to do the research. I might do some of it while we're on the recording, just to take the risk.
And we'll see.
We've been so busy. And if not, I will do a correction episode of basically why humans are better than robots.
Yes, exactly. And then we'll go back to skim through Reader's notes.
Yeah, indeed.
Here we go. So
I have got the sound ready. Here we go.
Wow, instances and compute. And by the way, before that, someone told me that the only thing they did not like about our podcast was the sound.
Oh, really? That noise? Should we get a different one?
No, I think it's one person. Guys, if you don't, gals,
we only have 3 listeners though. You remember when I did this one once? I can't remember. Let's see if I can't remember what it sounds like. Hang on. There we go. Yeah, that was a big one.
Okay, well, I'm going to start.
We can do a drum roll.
Well, that's long, but yeah.
It is. They're a bit long, aren't they?
Let's keep the usual ones. My brain is connected, and that's fine. And if you really dislike them, let us know on LinkedIn in particular. I'm trying to reopen some sort of the channel and the communication for FinOps guy. Let us know that. Anyway, instances and compute, AWS, there is a EC2 HPC8A instances launched, with a claim of up to 25% better price performance than HPC7A. And so first of all, this is HPC, so it's high performance computing. Those are big servers doing big stuff and all connected together. So they are made for real simulation, compute heavy jobs. And so if you are using, my thing is, if you are using an HPC7, have a look at the HPC8. What is it based on? It's a Turin 4.5 gigahertz up to maximum frequency, 40% higher performance, and 25 better price performance, which usually means that they're costlier than the previous generation.
I'll go check now.
And the instance feature 192 cores, 768 gig of memory, and 300 gigabit per second of elastic fabric adapter network bandwidth. And today I was reading about ARM. So, ARM, which is underpinning, as the patents, most of the CPU, lots of CPUs, so the Apple ones, the Graviton ones, etc. They've released their own CPU. First time they've done a CPU. And It's quite interesting because they think there was a discussion of why do you need a CPU in a world of GPUs? And they say, well, all the data that comes in and you need to feed to the GPUs need to be coordinated and structured, and that's CPU's job. And so the CPU will are still sold, and the number of core is going to be more and more important, because you want one core to do just one thing, one threaded thing, which is getting the data from memory and passing it to the GPU. So the number of core you might see going up and up and up in new generation of CPUs.
So do you want the news on the doors about the pricing? So, interestingly, they only have the 96 on this one. Well, they had the 12, 24, 48, and 96 previously, but it is, to my reckoning, exactly 10% more expensive than the previous generation. Let me see if anything else is different. Nothing obvious is different apart from the price. Yeah, it's gone from $7.20 per hour to $7.92, exactly 10% higher.
Ooh, yes, and that's quite big for this kind of computers. Because okay,
it is. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's the only thing I can remember that being bigger than that was the jump from 6As to 7As, which for some of them was 34%, which was
there was a jump which was crazy. Yes, because it was not in Azure. You didn't have that
only
jump
in AWS.
In Azure.
It wasn't. Yeah, we went and checked it. That was one. Yeah, that was crazy. And I went and told at the AWS Summit, I think it was, or something. I went and told the AMD people. They didn't know. Or they didn't have any reason behind it, and we knew that it couldn't be the chip price. And we always thought it was maybe a bit of the Graviton thing, right? Right. So the next one is that the EC2 M8AZN instances are generally available. They are for high frequency profile, lowers unit cost for latency workloads, enough to justify moving away from the M5ZN or even the M8A, it suggests. So let me that's the little bit of a thing we've been given. What does it say? So these are Turin as well. And so they are 24% higher performance than the M8As. So is that what I'm comparing to? So let me just see if there's a 7AZN. Let's do a quick screenshot.
And if there is a price 10 times larger L3 cache compared to M5,
there isn't a 7, but it's a 5A, isn't it? Oh, neither of those exist. So let me just compare it to the M8A generally, and the price difference to the M8N is
M8AN.
Sorry, the M8A versus the M8AZN, which is the one it keeps saying to compare it to, is quite significant. It looks like the M8A is significantly cheaper. Like there's a 40% difference in it.
Oh, wow.
What benefit are we getting here? It's the no. Oh yeah, it's the network performance because it's AZN, isn't it? So it's 25 gigabits, up to 25 gigabits versus up to 15,000 megabits. So there's 10. No, it's not that much difference. But it does quickly. That's on the medium. It does go bigger and bigger each step. So it gets better and better in that regard. But the price remains staying about like so it's quite a big jump.
So first they are comparing it with the M5ZN, which not even
it's
the old one, so that the Intel. But they also sell to high frequency trading, so they tend to have money to spend, these guys.
Here we go. So versus the M5ZN,
yes,
it's still more expensive. 16 like 0.165 to 0.2. So it's still a chunk more expensive. Is that for large against large? Yeah, that's large against large. The new ones have a medium that the previous ones didn't have. But there we go. Cool.
Music, maestro.
And I feel like I've got to apologize now to the person that doesn't like it. Sorry.
I'll tell you who it is later on.
Okay.
DB Data and AI. So Amazon Open Search Service now supports storage-optimized i7i instances. So this is AWS claims more than 10% better price performance over i4i. So again, we move from 4 to 7. So Search and Analytics team should treat it as a real migration benchmark. Then another instance refresh, and it seemed that you found some things for Azure.
I have, already. The first thing that came up.
Here we go. So but I'm going to finish this one. So it supports the latest generation x86-based high-performance i7i. So this is Intel Xeon, and 23% better compute performance and more than 10% better price performance. So again, fair cost here. Up to 50% better real-time storage performance and 50% lower storage I/O latency up to 60% lower storage I/O latency variability compared to I4I instances. And I'll let you go with the Azure bit.
Well, the first thing I've noticed straight away is that there is a typo in the spelling of New Zealand. Okay. They call it New Zealand. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else jumping out at me in Azure land. No, a lot of it's releases in particular areas.
Yeah, we don't care.
Which we don't really care about. But there's two. Oh, hang on. Is that the one I've already done? Yes. So goodness me, the DCESV6, the DCEDSV6, the ECESV6, the ECEDSV6 confidential VMs have been released. These are the next generation based on the 5th generation Xeon processors with Intel Trust Domain extensions. And these are, I imagine they're great. It doesn't... it hasn't told me anything at all about their pricing. So I will go and have a look at that in a minute. I'm assuming that there were V5s of them all. I will go and just check one of them. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I'll start with the storage, but I don't think what is that?
Well, I mean, as I've learned this week, getting pricing is a bit of a pain in the bum for some of these things. Although all the scripts I built should just be able to manually do this anyway. Oh, I've realised I've lost my filter for. It doesn't keep your filters, man.
Yes, I know.
Microsoft, you upset me so deeply with your behaviour at times. It loses your filter when you go back and forward, and
yes, I remember that. Yes,
yeah,
we're used. I'm still impressed by how if you've done a transaction on Amazon and you go back, the thing that in theory they tell you not to do anyway, it's all perfectly seamless. It detects it you've done. It brings you, everything's fine. Good, here is your bucket. Every time, because I've been building this.
How much money goes through that website, man?
I don't know. I just know that someone was talking about the first version they had, which was horrible. They say they had a framework that they built in something like 3 months, and they say it was buggy all over the place. But hey, we couldn't stop. Now they've rebuilt it. I have one, so I think it's going to be a good one. So can I have the music?
Yes. Well, I'll go and do the pricing stuff on that.
And it's so the AI decided that this was going to be into DBAI. No, it was in storage. I don't think it is. Amazon Generative AI based artifact in Amazon Q Developer for visualizing resource and cost data. So this is in visualization probably.
Yeah.
It hides visibility. Here we go. It's me not bolding it. We didn't bold it correctly.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes. Because we've just got an empty one under storage. I see.
Yes. So that's the thing. So So this is visibility, being conductor tags, etc. And so now there is. So today, AWS announces the general availability of Amazon Q Developer artifacts with the AWS Management Console. Amazon Q Artifact is a generative AI-based user experience that enables customers to visualize resource data in tables and cost data in charts. The launch is also moved the Q icon to the navigation bar. I mean, really? You need to tell me that? But what it seems is that you can now start creating your UI. You can start asking questions and getting the UI, and it's going to get it seems, visualizing resource and cost data directly from there. So you can start show me RDS cost by instance type over the last 6 months. And the Q will render the response in a Q artifact using a chart, bar chart or whatever. You can also use sample prompts in the prompt library of Q to get started. So overall it is, you can start asking questions without having to do queries, like list S3 bucket with stack value production. My guess is that they made it that it works this time, because quite often when you ask things, when it is deterministic, sometimes LLMs will struggle. In this case, I think they've done the work at the back to make sure that at least for these specific things of visualizing resources and cost data, it could be right. Try it. Let us know.
I think I might be the only person that wants this in the world. I really wish Azure would export pricing calculators into JSON, like AWS does. I know that's a very, a very just me problem. Unfortunately, I can't find a past price for a past generation. Maybe there wasn't an Intel.
Ask ChatGPT.
Well, it'll lie.
Yes.
We really fell out recently. Do you know what it was? In fact, I can tell you, and I can tell listeners because they will get this. So what we fell out about, me and ChatGPT, was that I was doing a webinar at the time, and this tells you a lot about how prepared I am for all of these things, because it's exactly the same as right now, where I am utterly unprepared, as Frank can tell you, and I'm just making it up as I go along. Yeah, there's only V6s, there's no V5s on those things. And so I remember a time where they asked questions about like the amount of people in the team. And I was like, that's a really useful stat. And people keep asking me how many people should be in the team. And I'm like, I wonder if it's anywhere. And I just ChatGPT, like, when was the last time they asked this question and that kind of stuff? And it basically came back and said, they've asked this every year. I'm like, well, I don't remember it being in the data set. And I went and had a look at the data. I looked at the question. I couldn't find it anywhere. It hadn't been asked since 2023, in my view, or something. And it had numbers for the other years. And I just went, where have you got this data from? He said, there is an interactive data sheet that's released. And I was like, is there? How have I missed this? How do I get to this interactive data sheet? And it told me how to get to this interactive data sheet, except for it didn't work because there was no interactive data sheet. And I just went back and said, have you made all of this up? And it went, made it all up is a bit of a harsh thing, but I have interpreted it. And I was just like, you've made it all up. Yes, I should have been more clear that this was not. And I was like, no, don't. You've utterly lied, you naughty, naughty machine. Anyway, right, is it my turn? Sorry.
Fine. And I found something that the DCESV5, I didn't find the prices, but it was, they were
but there's no previous versions.
Yeah, the previous version, they were announced, when was that? Oh gosh, they've even removed the dates. But yeah, maybe, there was
maybe it's an operating system issue.
Yeah, in 2025, it's 2023. So the 5th generation was in 2023.
But if I go in and do DC, like, maybe I'll do a bigger one, 32, what are the letters for it? So you've got to put a number in. The problem is they give us a number, but you then can't find the next piece. And then I've got to do, it disappears when you then start typing something else.
Well,
32, ESV, the only ones that come up are V6.
Okay. Well, probably they have been
discontinued. Yeah. And you do find that I was doing some work on some Azure stuff and this is the thing, we don't really have this at AWS. We've got like history of pricing forever, where someone had bought some 3-year RIs, and I can't now find out the 3-year RI price because it's not publicly listed.
I think, AWS, you can say at that date, I want the price list at that date, because they do remove stuff, but you can go back to at that date.
And you can get price lists from specific, like your own data, although they are not that helpful because they don't have pay-as-you-go price comparisons on the lines that get zeroed out by savings plans, right? It's madness. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about, but useful for everyone that's not on Azure to know what problems you're going to have if you move across. Commitments.
Go.
Noise. Did I do that?
Commitments.
I think it's my turn, isn't it?
Yes.
AWS, Amazon Redshift Serverless now offers a 3-year serverless reservation. This adds a stronger commitment option for analytics teams with a steady serverless demand. So the practical next step is breaking a break-even comparison against an on-demand RPUs and any short-term reservation path already in use. Now, this is interesting because I once did a review of a client who had RDS Aurora Serverless, and one of the challenges we had, it has a minimum price to it, but also there are no reservations. And so actually it was a case of you could go and get a smaller machine, that's all you need right now, and have this, or you have this ability to flex up, but you're basically paying, at the time it's like $2,000 a month more. It's like quite a significant difference for the size of their estate. But yes, this is good news. They are doing more of these serverless reservations. Obviously, RDS savings plans came out last year, didn't they? And we've had the Azure ones come out in March, which we haven't talked about yet, but we did talk about the other day that.
But that's not a service savings plan.
This one isn't. No, this is a reservation, but it's a
it's not an arrival.
It's a capacity reservation kind of thing, isn't it? Or a throughput reservation. Yes. A bit more like DynamoDB reservations.
Exactly. You are blocking Redshift processing units for 3 years, and there is only no upfront payment. So AWS is removing anything that is complicating the accounting and complicating ours too, by the way. So
that's and in reality, it's because like they used to do it because of the benefit of them having the cash and used to basically pay interest for it, right? It was a cost of capital thing. They don't care anymore. They've got enough money. So reducing your compute by 45%. Do they have a 1 year?
I don't know. It's possible because
I'll find out.
It is possible that they have a 1 year, but on demand, the pricing, Redshift serverless,
there you go.
Reservation, pricing. There is 1 year and 3 year.
So they've just added the 3 year.
Yeah, there is an all upfront for 1 year.
But not for 3 year.
There is still for 3 years too. There is a.
They didn't say it.
And then you have managed storage. Anyway, it's complicated.
I mean, that's the entire reason we have jobs, isn't it?
Absolutely. Big part of it, yes. Yeah. It's definitely because the complication of all of this, which is quite impressive. Here we go. So, next one.
No, you're right. Yeah, 3 year does not have an all up front. If you actually go for it, it has zero pricing.
Interesting.
You were right. Don't doubt yourself, Frank.
Well, yeah. You were right. Let me Google Cloud. Expanded coverage for compute flexible CUDs is now available to all cloud billing accounts. So accounts automatically migrated to the new spend-based model commitment coverage assumption that change even if team were slow to opt in before. So what is this? If I go to the link,
okay, right. Well, do you know what would be really helpful? Do you know what would be really helpful? Yeah, but it's the we haven't got the date of the release note in the notes, so we'd have to. I guess we could find the exact wording, which is.
Well, you can search flexible CUDs.
Yeah. Although I guess these are the release notes forever.
So the thing is, listeners, is because when you go to Azure, you get something that shows you just one line, but then it loses every time you just refresh or change anything, you're gonna get lost. Google does the other way around. Is you have the release notes of absolutely everything on one page, which is
and it has one note.
And so you find and you say you need to find one thing which happened that day, and you're there, okay.
So what we could do with on this call is someone that wrote the runbook on how Google commitments work. But what we could do with more on this is the person that wrote that and can remember about them. Because that's what we're lacking. But basically, the new spend-based CUD model, which changed a while ago, you opted into. And now they are basically, I think, moving you across to it regardless. Like it's just available to everyone. I don't know why
it's not available to everyone. It is you are forced into it.
Yeah. But the autopilot committed use discounts are no longer available to purchase. That might be similar as well. You can purchase only compute flexible commitments for your spend on GKE. Google Cloud continues to support your existing active autopilot commitments until the end of their term. Information in this document about the autopilot is only for active commitments already purchased. I've just found that on the page looking into more detail. I think that's news. I don't know when from, but there we go. I need to read up on this page about the change. But anyway, if you're using them, you'll know what we're on about. Hopefully. And noise.
Yes. So pricing, this is AWS Network Firewall announced its new price reductions. So Network Firewalls introduced 2 pricing improvements for customers. The service has added the hourly and data processing discounts on NAT gateways, which is always one of the culprits when costs are strange, that are service chain with network firewall secondary endpoints. What does that mean? Okay.
You know what's really worse? I wasn't listening. I was looking at whether there's a better noise because I'm still worried about upsetting that person. Right, let me load up the page. AWS Network Firewalls announced his new price reductions. Okay, well, that's good news, isn't it? Yes. 2 new price improvements for customers. The service has added the hourly and data processing discounts on NAT gateways are service change. Oh, I see what you mean.
Service change with network firewall secondary endpoints. So, guys, I have no clue if it applies to you.
So it's if you have those 2 connected together, as a like a joined up service has removed additional costs. Oh, I think maybe you used to. I don't want to say you got double charged, but I think you basically got charged in both of those things, and now you possibly just getting charged the once,
I think
or discounted allowance for it.
They say what they say underneath. So previously, NAT gateway discounts were limited to primary network firewall endpoints, and customer paid additional data processing charge when using advanced inspection for TLS inspection on selected AWS regions. With these improvements, the NAT gateway discount now applies when service change with both primary and secondary firewall endpoints. Customer also no longer pays the additional data processing charge for advanced inspection that range from 0.001 per gigabyte to 0.009 per gigabyte in 13 regions. So it's an improvement. It's a reduction in cost. And it recently...
it's an interesting set of regions, though. So I wonder if this was already the case in the others. It's not like these are the regions where things often get applied later.
Yes.
That are on there.
Yes. So I don't know if it's... but it was announced in February. And it
is my
announced...
birthday. What big news.
Yoo-hoo!
There
we go. Keeping the page to make sure I have your birthday on my calendar, just making sure. Some crap at that.
Yeah, I think you did. I mean, I don't really track it myself. I think I need to do a noise in it, don't I? Sorry, person doesn't like it. Another AWS one, flexible cost allocation in AWS GovCloud US is a real operational feature because it lets centralized inspection teams cost be distributed automatically across accounts instead of getting stuck in the network owner account and manually allocated later. That's what it tells us about it. Thank you, AI. What's actually happening it's the flexible cost allocation thing that's been announced elsewhere from the transit gateway. I think we talked about this a couple of months ago. Is now in GovCloud. Allows you to distribute the data processing across different AWS accounts based on where the kind of, I guess, where it considers its endpoint, where it connects to, and spread those costs around that. A bit like the guys at Pelin or Attribute are doing, but just for the transit gateway costs for the network costs, which is normally just a big shared account that you have to apply some rules to. So I bet it is something that frustrates people.
There we go.
I was going to read that. Yeah, there's a weak area this month.
That's AI telling us, so that we have those little comments come from AI. I'm quite happy that it didn't invent any of the links. They were effectively real links.
Oh, they were real. Yes, they were real links. There we go.
But there was no strong February 2026 Azure primary source item that met the bar for inclusion. So this month is a AWS and Google heavy rather than artificially balanced.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's never that balanced because it does always feel, and some of it's about just the way we ingest and find the news. But it did miss 4 instances being released by Azure. But I mean, that's the only thing. Well, saying that, I haven't gone through all the releases.
Yeah, so you're going to check, and we'll see if there is a how big the correction episode is.
I don't know if there's going to be one. I've checked Azure, and Azure's about right.
And now we have Google for sustainability, so Music Maestro.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
And I'll talk while you continue to search. Sustainability. Google Cloud updated carbon footprint methodology for January 2026 data to allocate previously unallocated AI inference emission to the relevant services. This is important because reported emissions can go up, especially for Vertex AI, without any underlying workload becoming less efficient. So overall, that's probably the biggest pain point when you're trying to measure your carbon is they seem to be changing retroactively, which on one side is positive because it tells you that they're updating the methodology, they're applying it backwards. But it might also be that you've said something or presented some results, and now you need to update these results because things have changed. You need to present another trend. So the real trick at the moment is present trends more than and percents more than actual numbers because they might change.
Yeah, I've just found a piece of Google News. Generally available H4D VMs designed for high-performance compute workloads are now generally available based on the 5th generation EPYC Turin AMDs, and it's more about being able to scale across multiple nodes really quickly. I think we talked about the preview in previous ones. I'm trying to avoid having to do a correction episode as quickly as I can. Right, are we on Misc and Silly?
Yes, I think we are.
Miss Silly, AWS
But there was
Cloud...
nothing really. It was likely miss.
What does that mean? Likely misses.
I think it is stuff that AI is ambivalent about.
Okay, well, let's see what people think. AWS Cloud Financial Management published a useful case study pattern on delegated cost management administration via a dedicated account. It feels more like an operating model pattern than a launch, but it is the best non-selected item if this episode wants more of a FinOps practice angle. Let me have a look at the article. Oh, my goodness. Do you know what? I don't... do they not release things on this very often? Let's have a look. They release something on this every month. We have found a new source of information, Frank, that I didn't know existed in the blogs. There's an AWS Cloud Financial Management blog section.
Yes.
And so there is, hang on, that's March. So in February, there was petabyte scale cost optimization, how a video hosting platform saved 70% on S3. Now, we don't normally talk about these kind of bits, but that might still be interesting to people if you want to learn about it.
I've added it to our document in the list of blogs.
The result was achieved by leveraging AWS native tools to understand the life cycle of millions of video files. All right, so it's intelligent tiering. Okay, Yay. So that isn't big news. How dedicated account delegation helped CloudStrike manage costs on the 4th, which is my friend's child's birthday and was my granddad's birthday. They did some clear separation between security and financial management functions, centralized cost management activities, implemented a dedicated FinOps admin account. We've eliminated the need for management account access. Oh, right. So they created a FinOps account that isn't the management account to run the FinOps stuff in.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
Fine. I'm going to ignore the last one also, by the way. So.
Yeah, not worth the time it took. Sorry, guys.
We're done, because the other one is something we just said, the Redshift serverless 3 years, and so we can...
yes, which you've already
you can see that he noticed that we've spoke about this, it seems.
Right.
Earlier, so made a connection. I was trying to feed our previous episode to the eye too. Anyway, for now, it's not too bad.
Do you know what I found out the other day? And so this is our final point, listeners, because me and Frank do need to go. I think my food has just been put outside my door. Is that, and I'm just having a look to see if there's any Google stuff. I haven't seen anything so far, but it is a long job going through these. I want to call it Pocket LM, but it's not. Notebook LM, I think it's called. Have you heard this before?
Oh, Notebook LM, yes, I use it quite often.
No, right. I just found out about it on a podcast. And basically you can ingest a book or PDF or something, and it will do a podcast for you.
Yes, the interesting bit, you can interrupt the podcast at any point by faking to be in a call that comes in live, and you say, hey, but what about this, and they're going to immediately change the topic to you. But the very interesting thing, at least for me, I've seen people creating their slide deck with it, because you can create slides, sometimes and you can also create infographic, and it's really cool because if you give sources, and you can even search sources, so you can search online directly in it, save the sources, and it's going to create, you can interrogate the source. It's made for you to learn. Absolutely gorgeous.
We're going to be out of a job, man. We're going to be out of a job. Saying that, I mean, we don't get paid for this, and we actually pay to do it. So this makes no difference to us, I suppose.
But we could, that would be an interesting one, to put all the news, finding all the connections we have on what's new in AWS, on the release notes, and asking, say, what are the FinOps related news and Notebook LM?
That'll be our next test. Yeah, fine. Yeah,
I think that's good.
We'll test that out. Yeah, but my wife's company uses it for, they do like big pre-reads, and they do an accompanying podcast to help people who haven't got the time to read it.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah.
No, it's brilliant. It does the summary, it does the question. It absolutely amazing. Even quiz, if you want to test
really
people. Have a look at it.
I will. Anyway. It's on my list. Anyway, thank you, Frank's AI for doing the research. I think it's missed two things that I've seen so far. I don't think that's too bad. And because we do things about instances because we find it interesting. They're not that FinOpsy, are they? So
they're not FinOpsy. They're
purely Steve and Frankie.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Well, thank you, listeners. It's been a pleasure as always. We'll try to get this out today before Frank goes on holiday. Have a great holiday, Frank.
Thank you.
And I will, hopefully I'll speak to you on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.